Hold on.
I've got one.
That takes care of that. This looks promising.
Yeah, definitely early Akaviri stonework here.
We've got to get this bridge down. These pillars must have something to do with it.
Yes, these are Akaviri symbols. Here, let's see. You have the symbol for king, and warrior, and of course the symbol for dragonborn. That's the one that appears to have a sort of arrow shape pointing downward at the bottom. Yes, that's it. The symbol on the pillar on the left.
Whatever you did, it worked. Let's see what those old blades left in our way.
Wonderful, remarkably well preserved. Here's the blood seal, another of the lost Akaviri arts. No doubt triggered by, well, blood. Your blood, Dragonborn. Look
Try
here.
dripping blood on
You see how
the
the ancient blades revered Reman Cyrodiil?
It's done it. It's coming to life. You did it. You're dangerous. After you, Dragonborn. You should have the honor of being the first to set foot in the sky.
There's no telling what we might find inside. Fascinating. Original Akaviri bas-reliefs, almost entirely intact. Amazing. You can see how the Akaviri craftsmen were beginning to embrace the more flowing Nordic style.
We're here for Alduin's Wall, right, Esbern?
Yes, of course. We'll have more time to look around later, I suppose. Let's see what's up ahead. Shaw's bolt, here it is. Aldrin's Wall, so well preserved. Huh? I've never seen a finer example of early Second Era Kaviri sculpture and relief.
Esbern, we need information, not a lecture on art history.
Yes, yes. Let's see what we have. Look, here is Alduin. This panel goes back to the beginning of time, when Alduin and the Dragon Cult ruled over Skyrim. Here, the humans rebelled against their dragon overlord, the legendary Dragon War. Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is fallen from the sky. The Nord Tongs, masters of the voice, are arrayed against him.
So does it show how they defeated him? Isn't that why we're here?
Patience, my dear. The Akaviri were not a straightforward people. Everything is couched in allegory and mythic symbolism. Yes, yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Oh yes, presumably something rather specific to dragons. Or even Alduin himself. Remember, this is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin and his return.
So we're looking for a shout then. Damn it. You ever heard of such a thing? A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky? You're probably right. I was hoping to avoid having to involve them in this, but it seems we have no choice. If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it. Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power. Trust me, there is no need to be afraid. Think of Tiber Septim. Do you think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards? Only if you don't know how to use it. All the great heroes have had to learn to use their power. Those that shrank from their destiny. Well, you've never heard of them, have you? And there are the villains, those that misused their power. There's always a choice, and there's always a risk. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. Like the Greybeards up on their mountain. Right. Good thing they've already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have hoped for. Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third panel. The prophecy which brought the Akaviri to Tamriel in the first place, in search of the Dragon Ball. Here are the Akaviri, the blades. You see their distinctive long swords. Now they need their ancient mission fulfilled as the last dragon's contents. Are you paying attention, Nephew? You must learn something of our own history.
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
If you're looking for a room, try the Bee and Barb. This place is for the working man. This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Helga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists. Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap. What does he want now? I already explained to him that you can't get blood from a stone. Look, I can't make the coin appear out of thin air. Please, be reasonable. I'll pay next month. And so have I. What's the point of paying anyway? Your outfit can't even fend for itself. I could do better tossing the gold into the sewer. You can't scare me with your tough talk. I'm not paying you people a single coin.
Aunt Helga, why you demean yourself with these people you barely know? They show no real love for you.
It's only a bit of fun. You're a lovely young thing. You should try it sometime.
No, I'm saving myself for someone special. Someone who loves me dearly.
You mean Sibby?
Hear that?
You must be joking.
Something's going on.
All he wants to do is bed you and be done with it. You may as well get it over with and let him.
You're wrong. Sibby and I are in love, and you're just jealous.
Makes sense.
Please, don't take the statue. It's the only thing of value I have left. Not Lady DeBella. No, please, I can't lose her. I get the message. Here, take your gold. I hope you choke on it.
Sorry about the mess. Keeping this place clean is quite a chore. Work? I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean. Ever since my parents died and Helga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman? So now I'm stuck living here while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things. It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of DeBella a bit too seriously. Do you know she's slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it. Actually, there is, but I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of DeBella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do. Oh, this is going to be great! You need to get the marks of DeBella from Boli, Hofgrir, and Indaren. Not sure how you're going to do that, but try your best. Then just confront Helga with them, and the rest works itself out. Try and get those marks without violence, please. I don't want to be responsible for their deaths. Or yours.
Hey, Savannah. I hear you like dark elves. Perhaps I could show you what a real dark elf can do to you.
You're an animal, Tythus. Keep away from me.
Ah, so my reputation as a lover precedes me. Care to reconsider?
You're disgusting. Don't you even think of laying a finger on me, or I'll cut off something you can't live without.
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
Welcome. Allow me to recommend the Blackbriar Mead, the purest brew in all of Skyrim. She's an absolute pleasure to work for. In fact, I almost feel guilty accepting pay from her. Why, just this last week, I was commenting to my fellow meadery workers just how lucky we are to be working for such a charitable family. Okay, look, if I'm caught saying anything bad about the meadery or the family, I'm a dead man. I'm the 4th person to work the tasting counter in the last year. The last 3 are at the bottom of Lake Honrik. Just take my advice and just get out of Riften as soon as you can. Lady Maven's been developing the secret recipe for Blackbriar mead over the last several decades. She uses a very secret blend of spices, fresh honey from Golden Glow Estate, and specially constructed aging casks to ensure the best flavor. Even when you get to the last sip in your flagon, it'll taste just as good as the first. Come back and see us again.
I'm the brewmaster around here. What did you want? You're crazy. How dare you make such an accusation? If word gets around that I betted her, they'll lose all respect for me at the meadery. Take the mark if you want it. It's not worth all this hassle anyway. Lady Maven could buy or sell anyone in Skyrim. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one pulling the strings around this city. She's always welcome in Mistvale Keep, and between you and me, I'm pretty sure she even has some pretty influential friends within the Empire. I'd also warn you not to cross her. She employs quite a few troubleshooters to take care of messy problems. Maven Blackbriar wants me to keep the mead flowing, and that's what I aim to do despite all these lazy good-for-nothings that work for us. Ever since I took over as a foreman, the production of our mead has never been more profitable. And if the meadery is profitable, I'll get rich. Get the picture? Good. Now maybe I can get back to work.
Buy some armor and live to
Fresh
tell about
meats
it.
and produce. Get them before they're gone.
So, can I interest you in anything today? Catchy, isn't it? In my youth, I was a fisherman. I had a beautiful ship named the Brawny Prawn. But the years have a way of creeping up on you. I ended up selling that ship to open this place. Seemed only fitting to name it after her. Well, changed it a bit, I suppose. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my boat. Coming to this city was a big mistake. The question is, what isn't wrong with Riften? This city's corrupt, rotten to the core. No one cares about anything except themselves, and how much coin they can make off the misery of others. They used to be pretty feared around here. I mean, you'd whisper the name, and it'd send chills down your spine. Now, they're nothing more than ruffians and thugs, trying to pry a few extra coin from honest people. All it would take is a small force of guard to go into the Ratway and flush them out. It's our name for the old sewers that run under the city. It used to be a huge system hundreds of years ago, but it fell into decay, just like the rest of Riften. The guild stocks the place full of thugs that aren't good enough to join, so watch yourself if you venture down there. What? Oh, it's one of you people. So Brynjolf doesn't even bother to show up himself anymore, eh? What's this message? Petty threats and fist-waving are not going to sway me. You people are all talk, and everyone knows it. You demand payment for protection, and you can't even protect yourselves. Don't fool yourself. It's only a matter of time before you people are run out of Riften. Likewise. Now I have a lot to do, so I'm afraid you'll just have to leave. Had it at bay. There's no need to do that.
Nothing happening.
No! I'm going to break it!
Just pay them, Bearsy.
Stop! That's priceless!
Oh my word.
No! That urn was priceless. All right, I get it. I'll pay on time from now on. Just don't smash anything else. Here, take your gold, and leave me in peace.
My husband Bercy will be the death of me. Oh, he spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself.
Talon, my friend. Up for some fishing this week?
I don't know, Bolly. What do you want?
Oh, come now. What's a dragon or two?
With the rumors going around about how poorly your guild's been doing, she's become much too bold. I'm not that foolish. The last thing I want is a war with your people. Look, I'm only telling you this because I care for her. Don't mistake this as acceptance for what you do.
Come to think of it,
Kirava has some family at a farm just inside of Morrowind. If you mention you know about it, she might just listen to you. Just please don't harm anyone. I couldn't bear the thought. If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
They always try to take advantage of me. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
New in town, eh? Here for the fishing, I guess. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'd never sleep with anyone besides my good wife, Drifa. Look, it was one night, okay? I think she slipped something in my drink. I haven't even been back to the bunkhouse since. Just take this damn thing. I never want to see it again. Remember to give at the temple.
Here for a room or something to drink? Show me some coin first. Crime is an all-time high in this city thanks to the Thieves Guild. Don't we have enough problems with the war going on? Riften's biggest exports used to be fishing and honey until the Blackbriar family moved in. Now the meadery is the biggest game in town. Look, everything was all just a misunderstanding. I didn't mean to tell Brynjolf to go jump off the pier. You'll tell him I'm sorry, yes? Take this. Every single coin I owe is there. I swear it. I do not think our jeans were made for the cold.
Too lazy to walk, eh? Well, you found the right place. Bah, I'm not afraid of anything out here. Walls are just a weakling's hiding spot. Not me. I'm no weakling. In fact, I bet I got the strongest arms in all of Skyrim. Oh, sounds like I've got a challenger. Tell you what, how about a friendly wager, just between us? I bet you my entire purse of septums I can beat you in a fistfight. You match the bet, and we fight until one of us gives in. I don't blame you. If I were in your shoes, I'd chicken out too. Well, offer still stands if you ever want to have a go. Huh? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that is. I don't want a bad reputation in Riften, but Helga's out of control. She wanted to try it in the stables, so I said yes. If you want the mark that badly, then go ahead and take it. Been stuck with the name for years. I've been riding horses since I was a lad. Nothing I liked more. But as I got bigger, so did my mounts. And one day, I was drunker than I've ever been and mounted a poor colt. Broke his back in two. Haven't ridden since. Until next time.
We have been in this land for so long. I have forgotten what it feels like.
Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning.
Look, I got the message. What else did you want? What? How? Where did you get these? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Look, we need to keep this quiet, between you and me, okay? No one else needs to know about it. If word got out that I'm practicing my Debellan arts in Riften, they'll run me out of town. Here, take this and don't mention a word of this to anyone, especially Svanna. Just leave me in peace.
My husband Bercy will be the death of me. Oh, he spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself.
Any luck getting the marks from those men? Oh, I know. Isn't it wonderful? I bet she squirmed like a skeever when you pulled them out of your pocket. I think things are going to be a lot different around here from now on. And I have you to thank for it. Here, I want you to have this. It was my father's, but I'm certain you'll put it to good use. Sure, leave. Not like you care anyway. Aunt Helga, why you demean yourself with these people you barely know? They
Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Thanks for the bushel of apples, Maurice. Oh, they're wonderful. How did you keep...
So, job's done and you even brought the gold. Best of all, you did it clean. I like that. Dumping bodies and keeping the guards quiet can be expensive. Well done. And it would seem I owe you something in return. Here you go. I think you'll find these quite useful. Judging from how well you've handled those shopkeepers, I'd say you've done more than simply prove yourself. We need people like you in our outfit. That's the spirit. Larceny's in your blood, the telltale sign of a practiced thief. I think you'll do more than just fit in around here. What's on your mind? We've run into a rough patch lately, but it's nothing to be concerned about. Tell you what, you keep making us coin, and I'll worry about everything else. Fair enough? Now, if there are no more questions, how about following me and I'll show you what we're all about?
Mercer, this is the one I was talking about. Our new recruit.
This better not be another waste of the Guild's resources, Brynjolf. Before we continue, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. If you play by the rules, you walk away rich. You break the rules and you lose your share. No debates, no discussions. We do what we say, when we say. Do I make myself clear? Good, then I think it's time we put your expertise to the test.
Wait a minute. You're not talking about Golden Glow, are you? Even our little Vex couldn't get in.
You claim this recruit possesses an aptitude for our line of work. So let her prove it. Golden Glow Estate is critically important to one of our largest clients. However, the owner has suddenly decided to take matters into his own hands and shut us out. He needs to be taught a lesson. Brynjolf will provide you with the details.
Mercer, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, yeah. Since Brynjolf assures me you'll be nothing but a benefit to us, then you're in. Welcome to the Thieves Guild.
Welcome to the family, lass. I'm expecting you to make us a lot of coin, so don't disappoint me. Simple. Do as you're told and keep your blade clean. We can't turn a profit by killing. You should talk with Delvin Mallory and Vex. They know their way around this place, and they'll be able to kick some extra jobs your way. Oh, and talk to Tanelia in the Flagon. She'll set you up with your new armor. Golden Glow Estate is a bee farm. They raise the wretched-looking things for honey. It's owned by some smart-mouthed wood elf named Arangoth. We need you to teach him a lesson by burning down 3 of the estate's hives and clearing out the safe in the main house. The catch is that you can't burn the whole place to the ground. That important client Mercer mentioned would be furious if you did. The Guild depends on an arrangement of influential people to keep things running smoothly. Without them at our backs, we'd be in serious trouble. Maven prefers that Arangoth remains alive, but if he tries to stop you from getting the job done, kill him. The Guild has a lot riding on this. Don't make me look foolish by mucking it up. Golden Glow Estate brought in a mountain of gold for the Guild. You could almost call it our sweetest deal. Then out of the clear blue, Arangoth stopped sending us our cut. Mercer was, well, angry to put it kindly. So we send in Vex and find out he's hired a bunch of mercenaries to guard the place. Aye. Arangoth sent the city guard packing and fortified the entire island. In fact, Vex barely made it out of there alive. You should talk to her about it before you go. They're built like small fortresses to resist the weather, but their one weakness is flame. Besides, nothing tells the people of Riften we mean business better than a huge column of smoke. I'll give you one good reason. Maven Blackbriar. Burn all the hives, and she'd have to import honey for Blackbriar meadery, which would cut into her profits. We had an arrangement with Maven. We kept an eye on Golden Glow Estate to make sure the honey kept flowing. If the workers had a dispute, we'd rough them up. If competitors tried to buy honey from Arangoth, we'd steal the shipments. In return, Maven allowed us to extort Arangoth and bring in a huge payout. Let me put it to you this way. Nothing happens in Riften without Maven's consent. One word from her, and you could spend the rest of the 4th era in prison. You watch yourself on that island. Those mercenaries don't take prisoners.
Got a minute? Wanted to say something. My father told me he found me as a young boy in the wreckage of a ship that sank off of the coast near Solitude. All he found in my pocket was a tiny smooth stone inscribed with some sort of strange runes. No one does. I've even taken the damn thing to the College of Winterhold. I must have spent every last coin I've made with the guild trying to find out what it means. Perhaps they could be nonsense, inane scribbles done by someone in idle boredom. But if not, if they actually mean something, they might tell me where I'm from, what ship I was on, everything. Actually, the fisherman who found me, the man I call my father, gave it to me. Thought it was fitting, I suppose. I never changed it because it never felt right to do so. I appreciate that. Be seeing you.
Hey, let's talk a second. It was on a job a few years back. It was supposed to be a simple burglary on a house in Windhelm. I was working with Vex, and we got inside with no trouble. We found the loot and made our way out. Well, it was, up until the point where we set foot outside. The house was surrounded by town guard. The client had ratted us out. Vex just tells me to run. So I did. Half of them went after me, the other half went after her. Are you kidding me? Vex lost them in seconds. Once she steps into the shadows, she vanishes. Me? I ran, and I ran, straight through the gates of Windhelm, and all the way back to Riften. Vex was waiting for me at the flagon when I came in, drenched in sweat. Everyone just took a look at me and laughed. Well, I had forgotten we had our horses tied up just outside of Windhelm. Vex rode hers back and arrived hours before I did. So, that's how I earned the name. Now keep it to yourself. I wouldn't bother smacking at those hives with a weapon. Set them on fire, and they'll go up like kindling. I'll point you to the first and last person you're ever going to need to talk to. Tonilia. She's the guild's fence. Treat her right, and she'll make you rich. Try and rip her off, and you'll have the whole guild to answer to. Come back and see me if you ever need pickpocket training.
Hey! I want to talk to you. Now. I joined up with them maybe 10 years ago. Small clan, maybe 20 men. We'd raid villages, rob caravans. But it was always about the killing for them. Don't get me wrong. The first few years with that clan were some of the best years of my life. All the food I could eat, all the wine I could drink, and all the women I could bed. We raided a caravan one spring. I think it was a few wagons with some farmers moving to a new village. They didn't put up much of a fight. All that was left were the women and the children. Then the leader of our clan, Garthek, he ordered us to kill the rest. No, we usually let them go. I refused to do it, and Garthek ordered the clan to kill me as well. Luckily, I had made some friends with the clan who immediately sided with me. We tore each other to pieces. After it was over, those of us that remained simply went our separate ways. I left his head on a pike at the wreckage of the caravan. never knew what became of the rest of the clan that survived. I suppose they moved on, just like I did. Go and pick some fights.
So you're the new recruit, huh? Well, looks like you and I are gonna have to get very well acquainted. I'm the fence down here. You come by anything you don't exactly own, and I'll pay you some coin for it. Minus a little slice for the guild, of course. I can also provide a few supplies useful to our trade now and again, for a small fee. Sure, how about I get Dirge to knock you over your head and dump you into the cistern? Look, I've been in this business a long time, and I've seen all types. You can play it tough, or you can play it smart. Whatever. At the end of the day, you'll find that all we care about down here is how much gold you can make us. Good. Then there isn't much more to say. Here's your armor. Just make sure you put it to good use. Well, you could always speak to Delvin or Vex if you're looking for extra work. Or if you're looking for training, we've got plenty of it down here. Delvin, Vex, Neruin, and Viper can give you a leg up on that. All right, then.
So, you're Brynjolf's new protege, eh? Don't look like much to me.
Before we begin, I want to make two things perfectly clear. One, I'm the best infiltrator this rat hole of a guild's got. So if you think you're here to replace me, you're dead wrong. And two, you follow my lead and do exactly as I say. No questions, no excuses. Now you I like. I've been getting sick of the pushovers that usually walk in here. I think you and I are gonna get along just fine. Now it's time to get your feet wet, and I don't want to waste a lot of time talking about anything but business. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. We're in a bad way down here. Who knows? Old Delvin thinks it's some kind of curse. I think he's crazy. If you want my opinion, I'd say it's just plain old bad luck. You can get out there and start making a name for us again. Make them start fearing us like they did long ago. And while you're at it, make a little bit of coin on the side. Not a bad deal, eh? Been a while since I've seen one of those. What you've got there is a stone of Baron Zaya. Not like that, it isn't. The stone was pried off of Baron Zaya's ceremonial crown by a thief in order to cover his tracks. I think there were 24 in all. Most people keep them as a curiosity. Some of the guild members have tried to locate them over the years, but they haven't been successful. Well, until now. Look, I only buy things I can turn around quickly for a profit, and no one wants these stones unless they have the whole set. Tell you what, if you find the rest of them, talk to me again. Otherwise, keep it. Maybe it'll bring you luck. Yeah, I did. That wood elf's wit. He's a lot smarter than I expected. Can you believe that fetcher had more than tripled the guard? There must have been 8 of them in there. It was like he was daring us to come and get him. Well, there's an old sewer tunnel that dumps into the lake on the northwest side of the island. That's how I slipped in there. Should still be unguarded. If you're ever in need of some quick coin for items you find on the job, Tanelia is the best fence around. And besides myself, Delvin, Neruin, and Viper can help you with any sort of training you might need to sharpen your skills. Are you kidding me? Ever since the guild's luck turned sour, we haven't had a coin to our name. And when the coin dried up, that's when people started to leave. We had the best of everything down here. The Ratway was a damn palace. The only way this place will ever return to its glory days is if we can finish these extra jobs and start the gold flowing again. The Flagon was once a city beneath the city. We had our own smith, our own alchemist, you name it. If we can make a name for ourselves in Skyrim once again, I can almost promise you those merchants would return. Best of all, we'd have enough gold to throw around so we could start living in the lap of luxury again. I handle the burglary, shill, sweep, and heist jobs. Most of them involve breaking and entering. If you don't like that kind of work, talk to Delvin. He runs the more up-close and personal jobs. Pretty simple. Break into a house, grab a specific item, and get out before they realize what's going on. The catch is you can't kill anyone who lives there, or you forfeit the payment. You ready for some good old-fashioned burglary? Here you go. Hope you don't muck it up.